particular, since I'm just from Boya, the next state just next to you guys here in Cameroon.
That's from Ikom?
Yes, just around it. Ikom is in Nigeria.
I know.
20 minutes from Ikom, you are in Boya.
That's what I say from Ikom.
Yes. So it's been a pleasure, and I've been doing this for 5 years. Like I said, promoting the country, promoting Nigeria globally, and it's an honor for me to finally come close to the state, come close to the government, to see how I can, partner with them to even do more. Most importantly, I also believe that we can also work on the media with the youth to see how we can even, bring in a PR that is positive about the country, because I noticed that Nigeria negative news about the content flies a lot, even inside the country. So the program to train youth on social media monetization, using media to generate income, will help in reducing unemployment for youth. We also help the youth to understand that the positive PR about your country matters a lot, and that can go a long way to change their view, their reputation of the state and the country. So that's a little bit of the summary of what we are trying to do. I'm happy that I've met my brothers here who are willing to cooperate, work with me, and take me to the state so that we can partner together and see how we can achieve this goal.
Thank you very much to the Ministry of Youth Development and Skill Acquisition. And from all implications, this is also your ministry because you are a youth. And you're not just a youth, you're a useful youth.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we're trying to create here in Cross River State. Changing the narrative. Creating a paradigm shift where we're not raising youth who are always dependent on government, who will always go on social media. The only thing they know how to do is antagonize government and raise negative vibes about government. We want to raise a generation of youth where there will be partners in progress as far as governance is concerned. What it means is that just like you now, you're from Cameroon, but you're from far away Cameroon, you'll be able to see the good in Nigeria, the good in Cross River State. Then the question will be, why is it impossible, or why is it difficult for the youth of Nigeria and the youth of Cross River State not to see what you are seeing? But you're not even a direct beneficiary. You live, that's why I asked you, I said, do you stay here? You said no. Meaning that you've been able to see the positive even in circumstances that we find ourselves. And that is how life is. What makes you great in life is to see opportunities in every challenge, to see positive in every negative situation. So you have two different guys who went to school and failed, and one was able to pick up himself, continue, and successfully graduate. The other guy who failed is able to now start blaming the system, the school system, blame his background, blame his parents for not being able to send him to one of the best schools. So he's making excuses upon excuses upon excuses, while the other guy was able to pick up himself from where he failed and was able to rise up to the occasion. And before you know it, it's a success. And so, like we say, failure is not fatal. It's not the end. And the circumstances we find ourselves as a country and a state is not fatal, it's not the end. What it means is that it's a phase. That's something about life. Whatever we're facing, whatever challenge, whether it be economic, be political, be whatever, it's a phase. It will come and go. It's the attitude that we apply to those situations as young people that matters. So while the other young person is blaming government for not having food on his table, he's blaming government for not having maybe quality education and all of that. You see this guy who is ready to contribute his quota to see that there's quality education. And quality education does not mean that it must be in a school.
Yes.
It must not be in the four walls of the school. Today we now have AI.
Yeah.
And so you have people who can provide AI support system to augment whatever the guys are getting from school. So somebody sets up a structure where he's training people on the use of AI, different apps of AI, chatbots, whatever. So what it means is that when you come out from your classes, you have these apps that will be provided by maybe this young person to help augment whatever knowledge. So what has the guy done? He has been able to bridge the gap. Instead of sitting down and sulking or crying that, oh, this is bad. We have been able to, and I think human nature, most of the greatest invention came through what? Necessity. They need to provide a solution. And if we young people begin to think that way, that if there is no, for example, there's a gutter in front of your house, and instead of you blaming government, you pick up your machete, you cut trees, create a plank, create a pathway using wood. Have you not crossed that gutter?
Yes.
Do you need to wait for government to do that? So there are a lot of things we young people can assist government in, and this is exactly what you're doing. By the mere fact that you're even promoting the activities of government, you're only sending some very positive vibe. What it means is that probably maybe a particular country that probably used to look at Nigerians or Kosovoans as being barbaric, as being fraudsters and all of that. You might watch your videos and have everything. And so you're already also, improving on the, how will I call it now, the capacity, the global view of the individual from that place. So whether you like it or not, the multiplier effect of what you're doing is it's tremendous, because you might just sit there in Cameroon on your YouTube channel, you don't know how much effect your job is doing. And for us as a Ministry of Youth, first of all, we are proud of you as a young person who has been able to, locate your role, your relevance, and you're working towards it by making sure that you also contribute your own quota to the development of our country. And then the one that strikes me most is that you're really a non-indigenous. Even though you have accepted that you're not a non-indigenous, you're a Nigerian, then it shows that there's hope for our country. And I mean, how do you expect a stranger to come and sweep your house? You're crying that your house is dirty, and a stranger comes, picks up a broom to clean up your own house. That's a big challenge. So you have challenged us, young people from Nigeria, from Kosovo State, that if you, from all the way to Cameroon, can see the positives in our local circumstances, whatever we do, then we don't have a choice but to do what? To key into that evangelism and begin to also promote our government positively. What you're wearing here is still Kosovo State. That is the new narrative in Kosovo State. What we're trying to do is, no matter what happens, think Kosovo. And thinking Kosovo means thinking beyond your challenge, yourself. Yeah, thinking beyond yourself, thinking the state holistically. This thing I'm doing, if I go on TikTok, if I go on any social media handle and I'm talking down on Kosovo State because of one small challenge, what good am I doing to the state? There are other channels to resolve those issues. I remember what happened here. I know you followed NSAS.
Yes.
How devastating it was in Kosovo State and Lagos and all of that. Now, another one came called Bad Governance. But you know what happened? The young people here in Kosovo said, no, we don't have bad governance in Kosovo State. So we will not be a part of it. And so in Kosovo State, it was calm and quiet. And they came out with a tag and said, dialogue instead of violence. So you see, we are changing the narrative as young people. So that before now, you see, when once they mention youth, the first thing that comes, those ones, trouble. But you see, things are changing. Now when you say youth, you see responsible, productive individuals. Talking about content creation, you can see that the kind of revenue that is being pulled
massive
through content creation, through social media, and all of that, you can see that 95% of that revenue is in the hands of young people. 95% of that revenue, the power, the monetization of social media is driven by young people. And so these days, you find out that it's difficult to call a young person and say, let's go and riot. Because the person already is busy with his forex trading, he's busy with his content creation, he's busy with one form of hustle on the net, soft work. So you're calling him out, for what? But the gospel has to continue, because we still have majority of our young people who have not yet keyed into this new vibe, this new vision. And so what you're doing is another added energy to the work we are doing here. And so we encourage young people like you to come up and partner with us, help us to spread this message to as much young persons as we can, so that we can have more young people have this new mentality that we can create in our young people. That's why here we have our flagship program called Skills in the Hands. I've been to almost all radio stations. The Skills in the Hands initiative is so popular now. What we're trying to say is that no matter your level of education, no matter what you're doing, no matter your expertise, learn a skill. Because if you learn a skill, you can never be stranded. And mind you, content creation is a skill. Forest trading is a skill. So what we're saying is that both the formal and informal skills, a young person who has these skills will never have the need to say, I'm looking for employment, government has not done this for me or that. It's easy for you to be able to provide your basic needs while waiting for government to reach out to you, because government cannot be everywhere, and it's only God who has the ability to be everywhere at the same time, not government. With the new resources of government, what government does is to prioritize. So you might have, your community might need water, and your community needs a hospital. Government will check which is more important right now, and so that's what happens. But ultimately, the government is trying, the government of Senator Ambassador is trying so much to put Cross River State back on the map, both in terms of tourism, education, health, youth empowerment, infrastructure, political stability, security. You who is from Cameroon, at least you can attest to the fact that before now, if you're coming to Nigeria, you'll be scared because of the kidnappers. But right now, you can, in fact, as commissioner, I don't have a police. There's no need for it now. But if it was in the past, I'll be scared of moving around without a police escort. But now, like, majority of the government officials will walk around freely because crime rate in Cross River State
reduced
back to the barest minimum. Our tourism has been revived.
Cross River is the biggest.
So now we are gradually returning back as the tourism capital of Nigeria that we used to be, and with people like you helping us spread this gospel, then we are sure that very soon all our lost glory will be restored. You will share your YouTube channel with us. We'll make it official on our own platform, because the ministry has its own official platform. So that we also help to control that we have more people, subscribing to channels, so that we can, help publicize it in our own little way. And hopefully, we will make sure that this relationship, we try to benefit from it.